that you have compiled in the book is mostly empirical. If you'll be doing live presentations, it does mean that you have to kind of break down the context of the research to the audience that's there. Is that also, I mean, have you planned and discussed the presentation styles?
Yes, absolutely. Not only that, even before that, because the content of the book, we had to synopsize the articles, because these are articles that are coming from huge documents, 200-300 pages, you know, of dissertations and thesis, master's thesis and dissertations. That cannot be in a book, so we had to condense it to about 5,000 words, you know, and how do we select the right words to put in there, you know, giving them a synopsis of the background, the literature review, the methodology, the results, the findings, recommendations, and conclusions. So that's embedded in here in the book already, a synopsis. So this is only a synopsis. Now, even the presentation, because they'll be getting 20 minutes to present, see? But that's doable, because I've been in setting where we present our entire thesis research in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Yes, you can. There's a 3-minute speech. You know, you get 3 minutes to make but this one we will be getting 20 minutes, you know, to start with. And after that, we engage in a couple Q&As. So yes, they need to focus on, you know, quickly, what is the background, quickly literature review, the most significant part of the literature review. Then, of course, the methodology, briefly indicate the methodology, the results, then, of course, the findings and the conclusions and recommendations.
So, who did you invite to do the presentations? How did you make that selection?
I received many different articles, and what I wanted to do was to publish only empirical studies. I received a couple opinionated papers, you know. Well, in terms of the presentations for Thursday and Friday, all the contributors were invited. So they were all invited. Quite a few of them, about 60-70% of them will contribute. But we also have a couple empirical studies done by colleagues from Pathlight. You know, so they'll be presenting as well at the conference. And also colleagues, my staff, my teachers, they conducted 3 research studies over the year during the pandemic. And so they will also be presenting their research study, their findings. These are teachers in the actual classroom. And they conducted what we call action research studies. So they will also be presenting. So we have a total of about, over the 2 days, 20 presenters.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So tell us about some of the topics that are going to be covered.
Excellent. Yeah. Some of the topics that will be covered will be in educational leadership, looking at principles, you know, because principles, you have the different leadership styles. So one of the presenters will be talking about, you know, the attitudes, the perception, because we as principals, we're thinking we're doing a great job, but getting it from the teachers, getting it from the staff, you know, what do you think about the leadership in your school? So that's going to be one of the big topics. Other topics are in the area of methodologies, different strategies that are used to teach mathematics, to teach language arts, to teach music. There's an excellent study that was done with music in the North, you know, and the correlation. He did 2-3 years of studying and looking at those who are involved in taking music education and the impact, the effects of music education on academic performance in math, language arts, and science.
Wow.
And I imagine their grades improved.
Absolutely. There's a positive, what you call a positive correlation. So all this is exciting, you know, exciting.
But that's interesting that there is data to prove that.
No,
especially if you're a subject.
There is data in specific subjects. Yes, of course. And that is excellent, you know, to actually have the data now. This could be used now to develop programs, see, to develop and implement policies, you know, very important. So these are excellent findings, you know, that are out there. Other areas that we look at is also classroom management, you know, the behavior of students and how teachers are coping with the behavior of children in the classroom. You know, what are children thinking? What are teachers thinking? So that's also a very good study that was done. And then we have other studies that were done in the community with regards to what we call the stakeholders, those who are receiving business owners. So there was a study that was done in the South, and it assessed the education program in one of the institutions. And the results, astounding, excellent results.
Wow.
You know, they're actually very pleased with the skills, the knowledge, the mindset of the graduates from this particular institution. Of this program. Many times we hear, oh, we need to upsee, we need to fix our program, the students are not getting, you know, this is not a good institution. not according to those employers.
Yeah.
Not according to those. According to those employers, we are getting the skill sets that we need for our industries.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, so.
Wow.
Now you have the Minister of State who will be a keynote speaker there.
Yes.
That's a very important ear
Yes.
to be hearing this type of research coming out, especially as we are in the middle of our curriculum review process.
Correct.
Tell us about the engagement that you've had with the ministry so far.
Yes, very positive engagement. I must say that they are one of the big sponsors, supporters of the conference.
Okay.
So I'm very grateful to them. We have 4 sponsors: the University of Nottingham in Malaysia. They're one of the biggest sponsors. Then we have the Ministry of Education sponsoring. We have the Ministry of Economic Development also sponsoring and assisting, and the Belize National Teachers Union.
Wow.
The keynote speaker for Thursday is going to be Minister Honorable Dr. Louis Tabane. So he'll be the keynote speaker Thursday morning. So if you're interested, please come on out and listen to the keynote speakers. Of course, on the other presentations. Then on Friday, Dr. Priscilla Lopez Brown, everybody knows Dr. Lopez, she'll be the keynote speaker on Friday.
And what's the duration per day in terms of being at the conference? And I'm saying this because, you know, people might have other things to do, but at the
Yes.
same time, very interesting findings.
Yes.
So what's the duration?
It's going to be an all-day event. You know, conferences are normally set up for all-day events. So we go from 8 o'clock to about 4 o'clock. But the first half an hour is the meet and greet. It's a good time for networking. Of course, between presentations, we'll have breaks, you know, where we could talk, snack breaks, coffee break, tea break, you know, lunch break. So we could interact. It's a good way to socialize and also to network, you know, to find out from others. Oh, what is your area? I didn't know this was your area, educational leadership. I didn't know you were interested in music. I didn't know you were interested in classroom management, you know. So these, and then in these networking, we find out who the experts are. I didn't know you were interested in early childhood development. See, and we start labeling and tagging those persons and to get them into our file and name contact list, you know, because these are going to be very important presenters tomorrow, because these are the experts. They've done a year, 2 years to complete their study.
Teaching is Professor, is a passionate, one of those passionate work that people actually move into. So as a teacher for 20 years, 30 years, I feel like, you know, I'm at the pinnacle of my career. Why should I want to attend this?
You'd want to attend this because this is new. See, this is something new to Belizeans. What I want to do is to develop what we call a research culture in Belize. See, a research culture where we get to acknowledge. Many times we did our master's degree and that's it. We think we're done. We did our PhD, we think we're done. See, but it shouldn't be done. Actually, that's the beginning of your degree. You are now the master of whatever degree you hold. You are now a PhD holder of whatever degree. So now you are embedded. You should be into the community or submerged into the community to conduct research. It's the beginning. And so why do you want to attend? Because it's something new. It's going to be something that is different in that it's all empirical studies. You're not going to listen to studies from, you know, opinionated pieces of paper or position paper. These are empirical data.
Wow.
I think beyond that, though, I think we have seen over the years where people have conducted research and they just stay on a shelf.
Right.
And no one knows that there is this data available that can help to guide policies, that can help to guide decision making, or even, you know, as I said before, where we're looking at structural changes, like looking at our curriculum.
Right.
From the list of presenters, who do you think is really going to be some of the captivating presentations that people perhaps did not know that this level of research was done, or that there is information available on a particular topic?
I don't want to pick out a specific name because, in my opinion, probably because I read all the documents to its fullest to be able to condense this. All of them, you know, we have Dr. McKay from the University of Belize. We have Dr. McKin from the Ministry of Education. We have Lynn Madrid, you know, from the West. You know, these are names out there. So, there's this young man, George Yashkal, you know, who did a study on principal leadership. You know, he's from Belmopan. You know, there's Mr. Thiel from the North, you know. So there are many of them who are new. So when you go up there and say, oh, I didn't know you were, you know, and you are right when you say, There's so many studies, research studies, but they're just done on a flash drive. They're done with their dissertation or PhD. It's saved on a computer somewhere.
Parked.
Yeah.
Parked, and that's it. So where do we get access? And that's the reason I created this book, to be able to publish, to have it out there. And the book is available on Amazon, very reasonable, I think $3 US for the electronic version.
Okay.
And they're available also in all the libraries around the country of Belize. And you can, at the conference, we'll also have copies of the book if you're interested.
Yeah.
And so indeed, it's very important to share. And I would want our colleagues, because I'm now working on book number 2.
Wow.
Volume 2, because it says volume 1, so there must be a volume 2, And I do have already a manuscript submitted for another publication, hopefully by the end of the year.
You are, the book is on Amazon, and it's selling for what? About $354 US, somewhere around there.
Yes.
Which leads me to ask you about your connection elsewhere, because I'm so proud of the fact that everybody that will be a part of this, those making their presentations, are all local.
Yes.
But you've been exposed heavily.
Yes.
Tell us about your international connection and what you're saying about your book.
Wow, they love the book. My university, it is something grand at the university level, to be able to sit as an assistant professor and publishing your own book or editing your own book.
Yeah.
That is something grand for them. That adds to what you call the university's rating.
Yeah.
So whenever we write a book, whenever we conduct a conference, this is huge. To me, this is a national conference. To them, this is an international conference.
Yeah.
Sending off your professor, assistant professor, to be able to organize and host a conference, at the national level.
Wow.
And having the minister, being a keynote speaker is grand. In Malaysia, having one of the ministers to be at the University of Nottingham is almost impossible.
Wow.
So I am very privileged, to have the minister speaking tomorrow.
Yeah. I love that the book from the onset, and you even have it in the title, it's for Belize by Belizeans. I think very often we say we don't do research in Belize, but there's just a disconnect between the research done and having the shared knowledge.
Correct.
Why do you think that is?
Because there's not a platform. See, there's not a platform, and we need to go further than having it in a book. We need what you call an online journal. We need a website where we could mount all these articles, so that we go there's one place. For example, online there's Eric, there's ProQuest, there's several search engines, but we need one for Belize, or at least the region.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the region. After this conference next year, I want to go a little larger.
Okay.
I want to tap into the region, because there are studies that we can also relate to.
Of course.
In different parts of the Caribbean and even Central America. So I want to go a little larger, and hopefully by next year have my own what you call journal. A journal. It's a deposit to put all these studies
All the
in.
information.
Yes.
Do you think too it's partly language? I think accessibility is important, and when you create your research paper, it is for an academic process.
Yes.
But to be able to translate it, it's a different skill that's necessary.
Correct. That could contribute, but as we're going through our program, whether you're doing a master's degree or PhD program, we do develop the skills. We do develop the skill set to be able to condense this information and being able to put it into what we call a journal article format.
Okay.
And have it what we call the readability. It's readable to anybody from the classroom.
Yeah.
Whether you have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, anybody will be able to read. The articles here, they're condensed, so they're easy to read.
Yeah.
But what I've read, 200-300 pages, some of them, is a wealth of information. I wish others could, know what I know, because this is only like a tip of the iceberg of each one of these articles.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. So what I'm encouraging, when networking, after listening to the presenter, contact the presenters. Contact them and ask them, may I see the entire document?
Yeah.
Because it becomes more exciting when you see all the data.
When you see the data
Yes.
itself, yeah, and even diving into the methodology. What about spurring thoughts for new research? I mean, I think there are two things I look forward to hearing about. One is understanding the depth of the learning loss that the pandemic has caused on children, and also the psychological and social impact on children and what that means when they go back into the classrooms. Do you know of Belizeans who are already embarking on this
Yes.
type of research?
Very good. And yes, we need to do a lot more. But actually, tomorrow's presentation from Pathlight will actually tap into the emotional state of the teachers during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because who's listening to them?
That's
so
true.
they have empirical data,
Yeah.
you know, that they will be sharing. See, so that's exciting, and that's a very good. We also need to find out from the students.
Yeah.
You know, what was the loss? You know, what was it, and you know, to what extent? You know, we're only guessing at this point. You know,
Yeah.
we don't know. But if we collect the data, and we need to collect the data, I'm hoping that when we return to the schools, we start doing some assessments, some analysis of the data, and start putting documents together,
Yeah.
public research together to publish to say this is what we're losing. This is how long it's going to take us to get back, if we can even get back, you know, or fix this particular gap, and from there move on.
Yeah, I saw a report. I think it was from it may have been IDB, but it was talking about school closures, and Belize in this region is actually one of the countries that had children out of classrooms the longest.
The longest.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sure that has long-term effects
Yeah.
and impact on the economy.
Indeed, but we've got a lot of rural communities. People weren't able to reach in those communities. The internet is not there.
Correct.
So how do you learn?
Correct.
And I could actually share as a dad that I saw how better my child performed while she went back into the classroom. Even though receiving packages, you actually have the information right there readily available. So the importance of having teachers interacting with these students for my child, I actually see is a great impact.
All right.
Now, with the information that you've got there and what you've summed up, a lot of people definitely would want to be a part of it. And I say this because, like I mentioned, it's a passion being an educator.
Correct.
There is a cost of being a part of this?
Yes. It's a low cost. It's 25 Belize dollars, you know, for any participant. You can walk in tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, and you can pay it. There's a registration desk there.
Okay.
So it's 25 Belize. You know, if you want to register, there's a link on my social media site, or you can contact me at albertoluisaugust73@gmail.com, and I'll be able to share the link with you. You can sign up. It's good to sign up because I get an idea of, you know, for ordering for catering purposes.
Yeah.
You know, so sign up if you can. It makes my life a little easier, but we'll work it out. We always work with something at the conference.
Embarking on a research-driven practice to develop and lead education, Thursday and Friday.
Correct.
Where in Belmopan?
It's going to be at the George Price Center, and it starts at 8 o'clock. You can come in as early as 7 o'clock to sign up and start networking.
Coffee?
Tea.
I don't know now, you see.
Alberto, we're so glad that you were able to join us
Thank
this morning.
you so much for
It's
having
always a nice time having you on. You were on with us about 3 weeks ago
Yes.
with respect to launching the book.
Yes, correct.
And now it's actually for the big conference.
Big conference,
Thank
yes.
you. And
Thank
wishing
you.
you all the very
Thank
best.
you so much. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to take the break. Of course, when we come back, it's going to be about the Philip Golson Highway Project and Road Safety Unit. Now, these folks will be in to talk to us about road safety. How much do you know about it? They'll tell you when we come back. Stay with us.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere. Satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
The way things are going, if you call my election tomorrow, where you think would happen? you didn't get right back in because do people see a coherent opposition? No.
Is the opposition weak?
Yes. Of course it is weak. My heart grieves for my party, but most of all for my country. I wish the UDP well, and I think where my son is concerned, if we're going to be honest, why a sad state of affairs currently exists in the United Democratic Party.
I'm on my way to Benny's, where I can get what I need and save some money. After 75 years in the business, nobody do it like Benny's. Hello, how may I help you? Anything you need, we got you. Whether it tools or tiles, lights and fans, we are serving with a smile. Genuine plumbing and electric supply, quality construction supply, heating and air condition, 100% Belizean. Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're moving now into our second segment for the morning. This one is conversation twofold. It's actually about road safety and, of course, projects that's going on with the ministry. Now, in to talk to us about it, we've got Zane Castillo, who is the project manager for Road Safety Unit. And, of course, Camila Cardona is in with us as well. She is the project engineer. We have on the screen is Alexis Salazar, and a little later on, Sylvia Neal will be joining us as well. Guys, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
Leaf over there, leaf, shaking. But once again, good morning, and it's nice to have you guys in. And I think the conversation is definitely one that we must have. For the most part, there are a lot of road works that happen within the country, but people might not know exactly where to pinpoint, or you see it and don't know that it's going to, that it's supposed to be there and whatnot. Let's primarily talk about the projects out on the Philip Wilson Highway. Zane, let's talk about that. Where are some of the works, or what are some of the works that is being carried out on the Philip Wilson Highway at this point?
I think that's a question more primarily for Camilla, but I know that we are focusing on the Philip Wilson Highway for my project, the Road Safety Unit project. We are focusing from the Flag Monument in Belize City all the way up to the northern border.
Okay.
And for the coastal road as well. So the second road safety project has these two roads in its corridor.
Okay.
The Philip Wilson Highway and the coastal road.
Camila?
So thanks once again for that kind introduction and for the opportunity to be here to speak a little bit about the Philip Wilson Highway and the Ramata Bypass Upgrading Project. So just to give a bit of a background, the project is being funded in part by grant resources from the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund, in part by a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank, as well as in-kind financial and counterpart contribution from the government of Belize. We have two reputable contractors working on the project, Cisco Construction Limited and Tycrobes & Son Limited, who are executing the works in 4 separate lots. Their road works primarily consist of shoulder widening and paving, as well as resealing the entire portion from mile 24.5 in Biscayne Village all the way up to the Mexican border in Santa Elena. It also includes the full rehabilitation of the Ramata Road, which is also known as the Pachacan Road, from a gravel surface to a paved road.
Okay.
So that's a total of about 128 kilometers of road works.
Now, let's talk about the widening specifically, because this was, I think, where people can be able to see the benefits of this the most is if they look back at the George Price highway that was rehabilitated and allowed for people to be able to travel with some extra space along the way. How are you able to execute the widening project, especially when you're passing through communities where some people are right up along the highway?
In those areas, yes, the design has taken that into account. I know one of the contractors has recently brought in this road widening equipment, which is quite fun to look at. And it allows for safe passage of traffic on one side of the road and uses minimal space. So it's not as traditional as some of the areas that you could probably see in some of the videos that will be playing shortly, but it is a bit of a challenge, and that is why I guess we're here notifying the public of where certain works are happening for everybody to be able to exercise extra caution, particularly through these urban areas, as there will be congestion, there will be reduced travel time. So it's just to be able to inform everybody, let everybody know what's happening and how to proceed with caution.
While we're doing the rehabilitation of these roads, let's talk about some of the things that we will see as changes. I mean, normally you travel out on the Philip Wilson Highway and you might not see the cat eyes, so you might not see the white line on the side. And you know, we know how dangerous that could be, but people are actually used to it because that's where we traverse. So the changes might come as a plus for us. Let's talk about some of these changes that we'll be seeing.
Well, we have 6 key areas that, in our opinion, is the areas where we'll have the biggest transformation along that section of road. The first being the Crooked Tree intersection. That was once a T junction, very dangerous. So what we've done is constructed a roundabout. So that is fully operational now, open to traffic. We do have some minor works that remain, such as the line markings, additional traffic signs. It does have signage. Another area of focus was the Mamayal curve that is just north of Orange Walk Town. We've had quite a few traffic accidents there in the past, and I think as recently as over the Easter holidays, if I recall correctly. So what we're doing there, we're improving the alignment of that curve, and we're softening or smoothing the transition, the curve.
Yeah.
The third area is the southern intersection of the Remate Bypass Road. We're also constructing a roundabout there. It's partially open to traffic at this time. The fourth area is the Libertad Junction. That was a T junction. I've known of a few people who flew straight through on both directions.
Yes.
So what we've done there, we've reprioritized the right of way. So traffic exiting Libertad is now going to have to stop and yield to traffic heading in the direction of Corozal and Orange Walk. So now moving at the fourth location, that is the Tumbaito curve, another dangerous curve just near the intersection of Chanchen Village. What we've done there, we've eliminated that curve altogether. So we've constructed a new straight alignment around that portion. And the last area is the northern intersection of the Remate Bypass Road, where we're also currently constructing a roundabout. So those are the 6 key areas where I think road users are going to see the most impactful transformations.
Yeah. As you get the road work started, I think you said something key. It's about letting people know that it's going to happen, so we don't get the upset when traffic is stalled or there are challenges in being able to move around. How do you get the information out when the project, when the road work start, and how do you keep them updated?
Well, we've had several stakeholder engagements, and we have online Mr. Salazar, who is our community liaison officer. Yeah. He works hand in hand along with the contractors. We also have a social and gender specialist on our team. They're located on the project site, so they, as part of their day-to-day activities, they host public consultation meetings. So they do this in advance, especially when contractors are about to enter a particularly urban area. They inform the public of works that are about to happen, what are some of the channels to communicate concerns. So it's quite a proactive effort on behalf of the project. And this opportunity to be here is also another advantage for us, as it's a wider reach and is not as local as.
And it's a big commuter route too. So we do have to take that into consideration. Alexis, let's hear a bit about your experience about going into the communities, giving them that heads up.
Yeah, sure. Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Like what Camilla mentioned, we do deal with stakeholder engagement. Essentially what it is to inform communities along the Northern Highway, along the Philip Goldson Highway, of the project, the scope of works, what the expectations are, and then how to field complaints and concerns if there are any. Yeah. Usually what we do is we try to go in before the work starts to generally manage expectations. And then that's where we deal with a lot of minor questions, concerns, and so on. And then to get buy-in from the stakeholders, people who are right along the road. We've done walkthrough exercises. For example, we are in San Jose and San Pablo, and that's where major works are going to start. We've met with the village chair people, with stakeholders, with people who have interests, with schools, for example, for speed bumps and so on. So we've been working, we've got great buy-in from our contractors. We have been going out and meeting with the public and then managing expectations. And that's been working for us so far in fielding concerns and comments. So that going into the villages before works and to be working for us at the ministry.
Alexis, you mentioned something very important, and that's the public buy-in. Mm-hmm. It makes for a smoother process when everybody is on par and on board. What would be some of the concerns in these areas that you guys are actually currently working on?
Well, mainly, definitely with schools, they're concerned about the students who walk alongside the highway every day. so mainly where speed bumps are. Others have to do with drainage within the community. People want to know, that, well, they have the best knowledge as to where, what the water settles and so on. So drainage would be a big one. Others would be, for example, under Ramata is the dust suppression. We're upgrading the highway, so now that will just alleviate dust in the area on a whole. So those are three of the main things. You have minor things such as people talking about just use of fill and so on.
Okay.
But mainly just those three things. The speed reduction within villages is another one, which again has to do with speed bumps.
Yeah.
The drainage within villages, and so those are just some of the main concerns that we've had, and just to manage expectations as to widening and to what the actual scope of works are.
And I imagine managing expectations also means timeline, because anytime they're doing work in your area, it's too long. So but let's bring the road safety into the conversation. This is, I mean, I don't think we talk about road safety enough.
Yeah.
We know that traffic collisions is one of the leading cause of deaths for young people in our country. It is something that is preventable because a lot of it is guided by the actions that we have on the roads. Zane, let's talk about the work that the Road Safety Project has been doing, and also, what's the sensitization that takes place? Because when Alexis talks about communities, I know as a driver, not necessarily as a pedestrian, it's really challenging going through villages because how the driver uses the road versus how the villagers uses the road, and the interaction between the two can be a very hazardous situation.
Yes, so the second road safety project is focusing on building awareness of road safety and educating people about road safety measures and changing the mindset. We are also looking at building capacity for those who use the road and those who manage the management of the road through whether it's the police or it's the Department of Transport. So we are looking at all that. The project really focusing on creating that awareness and, like I said, building the capacity and focusing on safe zone within the schools that are along the roadways, the Focus, Corozal, the Northern Highway, the Philip Coastal Highway, and the Coastal Road. So we are going to do all that aspect of it. We will focus on running campaigns. We need to bring out ads in another couple of weeks. We'll be starting our new phase of a campaign where we'll run ads. You might be familiar with the jingles in the past. Sylvian is the road safety man, so he's right there, and I'm sure he's having a hard time not being able to communicate.
You now, right?
Can we hear you?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. So I know he's been waiting to get on. But yeah, so this is the focus. Over the past couple of months, the project has experienced some delay, not only because of COVID, but we have had other shortcomings, and now we are back on track. And so we'll be starting up full speed. We have already purchased some assets. We have done a lot of training. We have purchased, I think, 6 ambulances for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and we have purchased some patrol vehicles. You might be familiar with the patrol vehicles, the brightly colored ones. So we bought 6 of those. We have bought 18 motorcycles.
Sweet.
And that is distributed throughout the municipalities. So 2 each per municipality. And we have bought some breathalyzers and some speed guns.
Speedometers.
Yeah.
I want to ask, what is the, I know there's a lot of research that goes into this project. And if I recall the first one, when they were looking at the George Price Highway, the results had shown that, in fact, it was government-issued vehicles that would be the ones that would speed the most. speeding continues to be, I'd imagine, the biggest cause of collisions on the road. What else do we know about the situation that we see? What other data exists for us to understand the challenges we're seeing?
We do have the Ministry of Health and the police that capture data on, especially with traffic incidents. And we know that, yes, we are able to analyze the area where these accidents are, sorry, not accidents, because we try to refrain from using the word accidents, we try to crashes, but where these are likely to occur, right? And with the infrastructure work going on now, we hope to curb that. So, but to get back to your point, Marlene, of the government vehicles speeding, we will address that, because in another couple of weeks we'll be installing tracking devices on these, all the equipment that we have donated so far. So the ambulances, the highway patrol, even the motorcycles.
You know, which of course is a plus for Belizeans, because it's very essential that we try to get these people to slow down out there. Brings me to Sylvian. He's the man with information when it comes to safety as well.
That's right.
So Sylvian, we know how impactful your the commercials that you've done are. My daughters, they dance it too. I just have to say. But let's continue with that information with respect to safety. We know that you're very adamant when it comes to that. What are some of the new tips that you'll be sharing with us?
Well, definitely within the new campaign that is about to be launched officially. First of all, I want to say good morning to everybody out there. I hope everybody is having a great morning. And now we have rolled out, under the new project, we have rolled out 2 videos so far. And those are seasonal videos geared towards people who are traveling, especially during the congested times of the year. And that we had one that was developed for the Christmas season. And I know you all are familiar with it because the Channel 5 also aired those videos. And then there was one geared for the traveling during the Easter season. So additionally to that, we will be focusing on motorcycle riders, and a lot of these commercials will be geared a lot to males, because we see from the data that males are the persons who are mostly affected by reckless driving. And so we will be having motorcycle commercials geared at aiming to try and increase awareness among the motorcycle riders, for them to be safer when using the road, for them to be more courteous, because motorcycle collisions have been on the rise, and that is what we have been noticing for a while now. So they will be having motorcycle commercials geared at speeding and proper usage of the road, among other things. No, but definitely commercials aimed at motorcycle riders will be a big focus going forward, and especially speeding, because speeding is still one of the causes, the leading causes, no?
Yeah.
And then we also will be having commercials geared at drinking and driving. And then, of course, the usual wearing a seatbelt, and also distracted driving. But definitely the motorcycle riding, that will be one of our main focus going forward, no?
Yeah. You know, as we watch commercials, I think one of the things that always stands out to me, that even when you do upgrades towards for the roadways, it's still about having people understand how to use it. I think we had a conversation on the show one time where people didn't really know that there is a difference between the solid line and the dotted line,
on the road.
And so having people know what areas are safe, not safe, where you're able to take certain actions. I can see how you collaborate well together in upgrades and also in pushing safety.
Yeah.
But let's get back to one of the key points that you said. School zones are really important, because you know communities are going to be moving around that area. And also I know when there are churches along the highway too, that's a real heavily trafficked one. How do you work along with the ministry to ensure that perhaps there are, what do you call them, the bumps?
Pedestrian crossings and stuff. Yeah.
Another sub-component under the Philip Wilson Highway project is actually a Safe School Zones project where, in collaboration with the road safety, we have a consultancy that will be launched in October of this year, where they will analyze the most critical schools along the road highway who are more vulnerable to road traffic incidents. And the idea is to target 4 or approximately 5 of the schools for additional proven effective infrastructure work. So that could include things like additional bollards, possibly queuing lanes, additional road ramps if it is necessary, or even the flashing lights to warn road users, okay, you're entering a school zone, slow down. That, of course, will be data-based based on information provided from the road safety unit that the consultant can use to determine the schools that will benefit the most from this initiative. Kind of going back, if I could briefly, where you mentioned the challenges of sometimes traversing through these urban areas and sharing the roads with pedestrians and cyclists. Another component of this project is, apart from the road shoulder widening in village locations, we're adding an additional 2 meters, which is going to be a combined pedestrian and cycle path that is outside of the direct influence of the road. So that is also adding an additional safety for the pedestrians.
Yes.
And we do agree with you that even in designing and building infrastructure or forgiving roads, that's the new buzzword, without the softer components that the road safety does, it's not going to be as effective as it should be.
It's us wanting to change our behaviors. I know the challenge with even getting people to wear seatbelts or keep their seatbelts functional in their car.
Keep your seatbelts functioning, and of course, no texting, driving. All of these things are what we're trying to, or what is trying to be curbed, because these are the things that lead people to crashes. We don't want to say accidents, so we're saying crashes. But I want to go back to the project at hand in terms of the road works that's going on. Now, when it comes to the sturdiness of our roads, this is definitely concerning to people, because, look, there are a lot of monies being put into trying to get our roadways the best possible way. But it's the building process, or how we build it and upkeep it, is what some folks might say, you know what, these are the things that actually circle my mind, because I feel like my taxpayers' money is actually going into that. How can you assure us, or assure Belizeans, that the road works that's going on right now on the Philip Wilson Highway and across this country are world-class or sturdy as possible?
A lot of things went into the design and planning of this project, which started all the way back in, I believe, 2016, thereabouts.
Okay.
So we've had the designers from Matt McDonald. They came in from the UK. They did comprehensive design, which took into account the climate risks, for one, areas of flooding, took in the availability of the materials here at hand in Belize, look into different internationally accepted standards in terms of durability of the road. So we do believe that we have a good design, and we do believe that we have 2 good contractors who to date have been following and adhering to the specifications of the design. So we're comforted by that. We also have a supervision firm from Italy who have qualified persons who are assisting in the management and the overseeing of these works. So we do have a lot of testing going on. We test regularly. We cannot plan for every single thing under the sun, but we are confident in the works that are currently ongoing. And that's about the best reassurance that I guess we can give.
Yeah, there is some quality assurance there. I learned 2 new, or I think our viewers especially need to walk away with 2 new phrases. One, it's called forgiving, making the roadways forgiving. And also, Zane, I think what you said is key. It's not an accident very often that happens on highways. It is very much human behavior that tends to drive, except when there's a mechanical issue. It's human behavior that tends to drive these things. There is a alpha male culture in the Caribbean, right? And I think growing up, a lot of people have associated recklessness on the roadways as a part of the machismo, like, oh, I don't need seatbelt, I could drive, or watch how fast I could get to the border, or yeah, you know, one drink make I drive better, or drinks make I drive better, my car find its own way home. All things we have all heard, and all things in Russia, if we were just to use logic for a moment, we know make absolutely no sense. But that's the culture we're trying to overcome. What's the thought there as to how, I mean, it's really going to be young people to kind of change this culture, but what's the thought in being able to get us out of that habit? 'Cause way too many people have lost their lives unnecessarily on our highways.
Yeah, or education is focusing a lot on males within the teenage range, and you're totally correct, because that is the attitude out there. And I did Belize to Corozal in an hour and a half. How long did you take?
Yeah, it's a bragging right.
Yeah, exactly. So we are doing it through education. These same jingles, these same ads, these commercials, and we're going into the schools to do some education. Right? So we are looking at all possible angles to attack this dilemma. Because we have to curb the mentality, we have to curb the mindset. And it comes with enforcement as well. So they're also looking at, not under this specific project, but we're looking at changing the laws, implementing new laws, making changes to existing laws, right, to crack down on enforcement. And that's why we are under the project trying to build capacity and bring new equipment to the Department of Transport to give them the capacity to enforce the law.
And that's a plus. You know, that's a very good plus there. But Zane, we're still seeing babies on cycles 2, 3, 4. You're still seeing them. Nobody's wearing a helmet. You're in rural
worse,
areas.
the driver has a helmet and the child
the
doesn't.
children, they don't have. You're in rural areas. Big football game Sunday. 17 people, you know, lead forward. You know. So how do we combat these things? Because trust me, these it's just a matter of time, and people don't understand the importance of having to feel safe. Everybody wants to get to the spot, but we don't want to adhere to safety. How are we going to tackle this?
The Department of Transport is looking into that as we speak. They are drafting a new legislation that they hope to get passed that will address most of these things. I know the cost of child safety seat is very high. It's expensive. But we have to think outside the box also and look at bringing in the private sector, looking at the insurance companies to partner with us. Because if we reduce fatalities and crashes on the road, they benefit. Their bottom line improves. So we'll be approaching them, we'll be approaching other agencies to partner with us and try to get this done, because like I said, this is a project right now, but road safety is not a project, it's a continuous thing.
That's right.
So we have to possibly look at making road safety a unit, perhaps under the Ministry of Economic Development, where we will continuously be looking at new legislation, making adjustments where necessary, and implementing new things. So, and it's a long term. And I must mention that the decade for road safety, as declared by the United Nations General Assembly, is for 2021 to 2030, where the goal is to reduce serious incidents and fatalities by 50% by the year 2030. So
reachable.
It is definitely reachable, and we are pushing ahead with accomplishing that.
Indeed.
And it's all the road safety is everybody's business. So it's not only this project or Camilla's project or the Department of Transport project, it's everybody's business. So we have to partner and come together to ensure that we accomplish the objective.
Indeed.
And the government is serious about doing that. On June 6th, the CEOs for the stakeholders signed a proclamation reaffirming the government's commitment to road safety. So we are pushing for that. And if I may go, Marlene, a little bit further to explain that, many times we only look at the victims and the survivors of accidents, but we have to go no beyond that. looking at post-crash care, what happens after the incident, and not only on the victims but the families. So we are partnering with PAHO. They are doing a consultancy with us that will be looking at addressing that and developing framework to do some training on post-crash care.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot that you seem to be undertaking at this time, and it has to do with all of us. Just let's close things off for this conversation. One thing more, Kamala. People who regularly travel to Philip Goldson, they should be expecting to see the work continue. We didn't get a timeline as to when you expect to finish.
Yes, I'm sorry. The project started August last year, and it's estimated to take about 28 months. So we're looking at July, August of 2023.
2023, yeah.
Yes.
Somewhere around there, indeed. All right. We're so thankful that you guys have joined us this morning. Very important conversation in terms of road works and road safety. Important. So Zane, thank you. Camila, thank you so very much. Sylvian and Alexis, we want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very
So
much.
Sylvian, you'll come back and you'll teach John the dance so he could do it with his girls.
Definitely. So whenever you all are ready.
All right.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's all about summer theater camp. Niche is at it again. We'll tell you all about that when we come back. Stay with us.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, Jesus said, "And you will not come to me that you might have life." A preacher and a barber who was an atheist were walking through the city slums when the barber said to the preacher, "This is why I cannot believe in the God of love. If God was as kind as you say He is, He would not permit all this poverty, disease, and squalor and allow these poor bums to be addicted to dope and other character-destroying habits. No, I cannot believe in a God who permits these things." Suddenly they met a man who was essentially unkempt and filthy. His hair was hanging down his neck and he had a half-inch of stubble on his face. The minister said to the barber, "You cannot be a very good barber, or you would not permit a man like that to continue living in this neighborhood without a haircut or a shave." Indignantly, the barber answered, "Why blame me for that man's condition? I cannot help it that he is like that. He has never come into my shop, and if he would, I could fix him up and make him look like a real gentleman." Kindly, the preacher said to the barber, "Then do not blame God for allowing these people to continue in their evil ways when He is constantly inviting them to come to Him and be saved and find abundant life. The reason these people are slaves to sin and evil habits is they refuse to come to the one who died to save and deliver them. So really, whose fault is it?" Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Keep still now.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Ma, you really can't get a mannequin for this, ma? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
And we're back from road safety and the road works to actually moving now into a summer camp for theater. And you know, this is so important and so great because the children need it. Summer theater camp. In with us to talk to us about it is none other than Kim Vasquez, who is a senior program officer at Niche. She is busy, and she's being joined on the couch by none other than Dayron Flowers, who is a summer camp teacher as well in the music area, right?
Right.
Guys, good morning and welcome. Kim,
good morning.
How you do it? What's going on? Daily, you're at it daily, and I think it's just the passion that you've got in terms of dealing with our children. And making sure that they have some fun. What's new?
It is my passion, yes. In particular, anything involving children and youths. This summer camp that we do at ICA and at the Bliss is something that we've been developing over a number of years to get it to this present format, whereby we work together towards one musical theater story presentation. 3 of them actually, because we are divided by classes.
Okay.
So we have the little ones, we have infants, we got middle, and we got upper, if you want to compare it to primary school, right? So that's the theater. That's a theater camp in the morning, and this year we are excited to get back music camp through a partnership we have with the BDF band.
Wow.
We have 3 of them that are doing right now their training to become, because you know everything we do with these camps, it's with trained facilitators. So they go through the pedagogy training because we know that artists have this body of work in their respective careers, but not all of them know how to teach. And so to get them there, they go through a 6-week pedagogy training. We've done several intakes with that. The facilitator for that is Mr. Leroy Green, and that's what Dayron has been engaged in with his colleagues. And they're about ready to teach steel pan because Pandemonium is back in full swing.
Right.
Pandemonium is booked to be out at Lobster Fest. They were on a long hiatus.
Yeah.
And so the seniors, because Pandemonium, if you can remember our partnership with Restore Belize, they themselves started out as juniors.
Yes.
But they're big now. So we're ready to take in a new intake. They're seniors. And Dayron is actually one of the members of Pandemonium.
Really?
Right. So, I mean, he's wearing several hats this morning, including the BDF beret.
Okay.
So we have a music camp. We have a wind section as well. We have several retired music teachers that are very close to us at the Bliss. That one of them approached me and they said, "Let's get those instruments dusted off, Miss Kim, and let's get a wind program going." So that's how we ended up with 2 camps this year.
Trumpet.
Trumpet.
That's the good.
That is, yeah.
I hear even they told me even the tuba is coming out.
Okay. I want to see the little ones. Somebody will hold it for them. All right, Darren, tell us, about how you're feeling about training little ones on how to manipulate the steel pan.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I've done it, but I'm looking forward to it. It's really just something that's been lacking for quite a while, and teaching the juniors would actually enable them to, because, well, the seniors from before, we had some time learning how to read music and stuff like that. So now teaching the juniors now would actually allow them to read music and actually play by ear, like, listening to a song and just, being able to figuring out notes on it. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I have my other colleague, Andrew Green, he's not here, but I will be assisting him in it, because I don't really play the steel pan per se, like professionally. But I do assist because I have general knowledge about it. Because in the seniors, I'm more of a percussionist.
Yeah.
I play the drums, right? But I have knowledge of it, so I'm looking forward.
What are your thoughts
teaching? How do you feel about teaching?
What are your thoughts and feel about that, about teaching?
Well, teaching is something that I've been doing for quite a while.
Okay.
Quite a while. But like Miss Kim mentioned about the pedagogy, it's actually, I'm actually learning how to, make lesson plans, how to really do it properly and such. Well, because I've been teaching from about age 15.
Right. So 2-3 years.
Yeah. I'm 24 now, so it's been a little while.
Just about 10 years, bro.
Right.
But I'm sure that it's definitely coming to you with that great feel for the fact that you'll be able to teach now the lessons that you've learned.
Right.
When is the camp though, Kim? When is this camp? Because children are out of school right now.
They're out of school, yes, and we are starting on Monday, and we go for 3 weeks, right up until the 23rd, when we end off with our recital, with our little show that we do every year, right? And as Darren said, a number of we will find that musicians and artists, they are teaching, right? But it's about giving them the tools to structure and be able to, like you said, do a lesson plan, classroom management, how to assess and make sure that their students are learning. That's the game changer right there, right? And as he said, he is a percussionist. But we approach the summer camp where we work as a team, as a facilitator team. It's everybody pitches in. Yeah. Everybody have their respective assignments, but we work together as a team to be able to do the camp.
What's the reception of it? I mean, this is not the first time you're on here telling us about summer camp and theaters and whatnot. The children had to stay home for 2 years.
Yes.
So what's the reception like at this particular point for such?
It's been really good. Actually, we closed off registration, and we have a waiting list right now.
Wow!
We have a waiting list. We have parents waiting
everybody
to
just
hear.
Just now.
We still have some space in the music program.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, because like I said, we are trying to also let it be more of a community-based program. We recognize that some families cannot afford the cost of private programs. We are not trying to compete against the private programs. We are trying to fill a gap where there is a gap.
Yes.
Right. So that is definitely the approach when we had discussed the partnership with the BDF, that they give back, right? Because their involvement with us at ICA is part of a partnership for music education and development with their band, right? So, this is part of the ongoing partnership with the BDF. But yes, the reception has been really good. And actually, even in 2020, there was a time right around summer when we saw the numbers. We were coming out of that first wave. And we were able to do a small camp. And we did that, not one COVID outbreak, nothing. We applied all the safety protocols, in 2021, we reached out to the Ministry of Education. We said, please give us whatever protocols you are recommending for the classroom, and we tried to follow that as closely as possible. And again, we had a successful, again, didn't have the numbers we have this year, but we had a successful summer camp in 2021. And now here we are. Yes.
And what would be the age range of those who would be able to take
From
part?
3 years old.
Aww.
Some of these children are literally just going to be going into preschool in August or September, and it's always been like that. Some parents choose this camp because they know they want that social experience for the child. They want to ease them, and like I said, we do try to follow a very structured approach with the theater arts camp, and a number of our students are actually returning students.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
They love it.
Yeah.
Every year, we know them, we look out for them, we know that they are coming, we know that those are our theater kids, and then grow right out of the camp.
And I'm sure you've seen them continue in the arts because of that early exposure.
We do see them. And when we get back Festival of Arts, the two of them used to be interconnected as well.
Okay, yeah.
Because we've always offered scholarships as well. Right? When we do the theater art camps, we take in a number of scholarship recipients. We are not in the habit of turning away any child. Right? Once we have space, we try to accommodate as many children in the camp as possible.
So the camp this year is going to be music. What else? Tell us about that.
In the morning one, we have dance, music, and acting. And we call it stagecraft because they design their own little costumes, they design their own props, and they learn in general about theater. So they learn stage right, stage left, they learn what the way one audience, they learn theater etiquette, which is something very important, I think, as we get back theater and shows. We need to learn to conduct ourselves as a proper audience. So we learn theater etiquette and how to conduct ourselves in a theater class. That means that when our classmates are rehearsing, we are quiet, we are respectful, we don't put our feet on the chairs. You know, we don't chew in the theater. I know they drop no hints, but you know, some of this applies to adults that come to the Bliss Center and wonder why we can't eat popcorn in there or why we can't chew gum, because you know, we should have respect for the performing arts. They have put time and effort into that production, and theater teaches character, I think. It gives so much with self-esteem and self-awareness. So we try to keep it fun. We do a lot of theater games. And I know Mr. John Rayburn, who is putting together the wind section and working along with the whole music camp team, is talking about doing things like that as well, where they do what we call ensemble building, where we do fun things to not only, we're not just blowing the trumpet or working on the recorder or the steel pan, but it's a summer camp. So we're doing fun things as well.
Oh, man, this is so cool.
I know.
You want to come to camp?
But I like try fishing me, that thing, you know. But you know, so Darren, again, you know, it's going to be a great time. I could just imagine, you know, going back to music and whatnot. I'm sure your classes are filled as well.
Yeah. Well, we were about to check on the registration, and Steel Pan actually has the most.
Yes.
It's almost decked out.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to really having a lot of kids, you know, because we start off with teaching them the history of the steel pan. You know, to figure out the different notes in the steel pan, you know, and actually how to take care of it. Clean it, take it down, put it up back, and actually learning how to take care of the pan, the instrument, you know. So.
Well, I think good luck to you all, because John and I did a steel pan 101 here one time. I hope that video never resurfaces.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So let them start young and really get it right.
What's the duration of the camp? It's going to be, what, you said 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yes.
From what time to what time?
The theater camp in the morning, again, very close to school. 8:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock drop off. Playtime, then 8:30, and then we do homeroom at that time, and then we split into our classes. and then we release at 11:45. We have break and everything. Like I said, a couple of our facilitators are actually teachers.
That's helpful.
Preschool teacher, primary school teacher, but they also got that expressive arts training. They're also expressive arts facilitators. So that is what makes it really helpful and really allows us to make the camp really effective and special. We have been doing story theater because that is something I'm very passionate about. I think it's very close to our Belizean culture. So for the past several years, we have been developing storybook volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So we've done the ugly duckling, we've done the little red hen. All of these things are brought to life by each one of these age groups. And I think I heard Mr. Rayburn saying yesterday that the music camp is similarly going to be inspired by things that children like. We do incorporate a lot of cultural elements. And that is the fun part and the creative part for the facilitators, is taking these stories and seeing how they can Belizeanize them. So I think that they're going to go with that model as well for the music camp.
Belizeanize it.
So when is the recital?
The recital is the 23rd. That's a Saturday, and it's at 5 p.m. We do that like a regular show.
Okay.
Again, they know that from the onset, they know they're working towards that stage performance. It's really cute. Like I said, some of them are just 3 years old.
I could imagine.
Yes, But we pull it off. We don't expect the world from them at that age. But again, it's the experience of it. It's being on the stage. Some of them are overwhelmed the first day because, it's the Bliss stage. You don't go into a classroom, you go onto a stage. And it's the lights and the curtains and everything.
And the sound.
And the sound.
I love the Bliss.
Yes. Me too. I love the Bliss.
Theater is booked out.
Theater
but there is
booked
space
out.
for
but
music.
Like I said, we have people on a waiting list. We do have people that register very early and then plans change, family travel, and so sometimes spaces open up. So we said, not despair. We wish we could take in everybody that wanted to come, but we still have to be safe and we still have to make sure that we can be effective in delivering the program. So theater is booked out. Steel Pan is getting almost booked out.
Almost.
There is still space in Wind.
Dance.
Dance is a part of the morning one. But I want to tell you something about dance. It's been a while since we've had a hip hop facilitator.
We got one of
Yes,
those
I remember when Joseph Stamp.
Yeah, Joseph Stamp used to be the guy,
was the last real, I think, hip-hop fest. And then he had some young men that were with him, and a couple of them, some years, came to the Bliss, and they did hip-hop. So we have Olajuwon joining. He's also doing his pedagogy training. I think the name of that dance company he dances with is Dee's Dance Studio.
Okay.
That's Denise, Diane.
Yeah, Diane.
Garcia, yes. So he's joined our team, and so we will have hip hop.
What?
So people just have to contact the Bliss to find out
Yes,
which
you can
ones
just call us
have
at any time
availability.
and see and check on availability for the theater arts camp and to grab a space quick in the music camp. Steel Pan is almost full, but we have space still, and we have space in the Wind program.
Okay.
Excellent. So I'll tell you what, this is a great opportunity for you to get those children off the tablet and get them into theater, get them into this summer camp. It's going to be a great one. Kim, Deron, thank you guys for joining us this morning. It's going to be great.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to take our final break in the morning, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the requests and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier. My parents always said, when it's time to build, invest in quality products that last a lifetime, even if it means paying a little more. It is now my turn to invest in my own home, and it's not even a question. It has to be Oran Windows. My contractor recommends Oran because of the heavy-duty construction, the thickest gauge blades on the market, and the dual locks that allow lower louvers to close independently for privacy while the top remains open for airflow. These features make Oran aluminum louver windows the best on the market.
With Oran aluminum louver windows, you get strength, durability, and beauty with an added layer of security and protection against debris and damaging winds. Come in and check out the variety of sizes and colors at Design Depot, located at Mile 3 Philip Goldson Highway in Belize City.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority.
Fingerprint recognition is here. Social Security at your fingertips.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
And we're back.
Just like that, we've come to the end of the show for today. Very interesting conversation. Very interesting, like I mentioned to you, very interesting conversations. We heard from Assistant Professor at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Professor Alberto August, on a conference that's coming up. He wrote a book, and the book was data-driven. Now he's actually bringing the people who he compiled the information from to actually share how they got the information. Very important, Mar.
Absolutely. And we want to thank the representatives of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development, as well as those from the Road Safety Project who joined us. There is ongoing work that's taking place on the Philip Goldson Highway, and quite a bit of it is meant to make your travel on that road safer, and that's just in the road work itself. But most importantly, it's about how we use it.
Yeah.
And I think that there were some really important points made this morning about what we need to do to change our own behavior and attitudes about how we use the roads.
Indeed, and we also want to say a big thank you to Kim Vasquez and Daron Flowers. Now they joined us this morning. It's all about a summer theater camp that's going to kick off next Monday, or this coming Monday, or that's next Monday at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. There's so many things you could actually have the children venture into. Let's give them a better future. And starting off right there in such summer camp would be a great one for them. Give them a call at the niche and find out which would be best or suitable for your child. It was a great time with you this morning. We're so thankful you were able to join us. Open your eyes and start your morning right here with us. If you've got any questions, any concerns, we don't have a birthday shout out today. If it's your birthday today, then I'd like to say happy birthday to you, all right? And you can always send us your birthday greeting on that's at 2 Open Rise BZ. That's it right there. OYE at channel5belize.com. Oh my Jesus.
And find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram. Of course, we look forward to hearing from you. And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30
when you open your eyes to start your morning right. And as per usual, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, please.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.